Most people are familiar with Larry Flynt, the publisher of Hustler magazine. He is in a wheelchair for life. And over the weekend, he and the state chapter of the American Civil Liberties Union actually filed a lawsuit to force Missouri to release documents on how they determine who is executed, that is on death row. The reason for this is that the man who shot Larry Flynt because he was angry that Larry Flynt published an interracial photo spread in his magazine, paralyzing him for life, is Joseph Paul Franklin, and he is scheduled to be executed on November 20th, 2 days from today. Larry Flynt is against the death penalty, and he is fighting to save the life of the man who shot him, paralyzing him. This is an amazing story, Lewis, and the thing here to me is that this is just one of those cases where there is consistency. We often talk about the death penalty and we say a lot of people who are against it might change their minds if all of a sudden it applied to them or someone that did something to their family. And that's true. For many people, it would change. The kind of theoretical opposition to the death penalty might change if all of a sudden it had to do with you. Larry Flynt here is saying, you know what? I was paralyzed by this guy, but the death penalty is wrong. The death penalty is a step backwards, and anyone being killed by the death penalty, even the man who shot me, is a step backwards. I think that this is very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to do that, to feel the same way if someone did that to me. I find it pretty incredible.
I actually also find it incredible, Lewis, how people like Larry Flynt and Hugh Hefner, founder of Playboy magazine, have really bad reputations, both among conservatives and many liberals. When Larry Flynt and Hugh Hefner, if we actually look at their backgrounds, are connected to, they were very early adopters of very important progressive things. I mean, look at Hugh Hefner, for example. The Playboy clubs back in the, I want to say it was the 60s, it may have been the 50s, I think it was the 60s, were some of the first places where there was total racial integration. And Hugh Hefner always said, black people can hang out at my clubs, white people, we all hang out together. There is not discrimination here. He took heat from people who were against integration. One of the earliest individuals who said, no, racial discrimination, absolutely not. So we can have fair conversations about whether Playboy magazine and Hustler magazine are problematic for society in certain ways. But the idea that these are guys that have been bad for society overall, I completely disagree with when we look at what Larry Flynt has done for the death penalty and what Hugh Hefner did so early on for racial integration.
Look at everything they've done. They're progressive guys. I mean, should we never have even introduced anything these guys did into the conversation? That's ridiculous. I mean, they have advanced things.